On May 18th and 19th, history will be made at Memorial Stadium on the campus of Bakersfield College. Just like Jim Ryan did at BC on June 23rd, 1967. Come out and see California Community College's premier track and field athletes compete for the state's highest honors. These student athletes will be pushing themselves to the limits to leave Bakersfield as a state champion. Don't miss a moment of this history-making event. Get your tickets now by logging in to valleytix.com or by calling 661-322-5200. On May 18th and 19th, history will be made at Memorial Stadium on the campus of Bakersfield College. Just like Jim Ryan did at BC on June 23rd, 1967. Come out and see California Community College's premier track and field athletes compete for the state's highest honors. These student athletes will be pushing themselves to the limits to leave Bakersfield as a state champion. Don't miss a moment of this history-making event. Get your tickets now by logging in to valleytix.com or by calling 661-322-5200.
What up, world? Welcome to the Renegade Report with the last of the Bowser boys, the first of the Grider gang, and the former general in Coach Chudy's army, Kenny Calvin. And it's a little bit bittersweet this week because this is my final show of my first season. So I definitely want to thank everybody involved. Diana, Todd, Sandy, Keith, you know, my old director, Francis, everybody who put me in a position to do this. I want to thank you guys because this has been an amazing ride, and I can't wait till next season. But now we have in the studio Mr. Keith Ford, Assistant Athletic Director. How you doing, sir?
Kenny, I'm doing great. I might be one of the luckiest people in America today. You know why?
Why you say that?
Because this is the second week in a row I've got to come on the show with you.
Oh, we doubling up, double up with my man Keith. You know what? I was just about to say that. You beat me to it, Keith, because I thought the chemistry was so great last week that I should have asked you first to be on again because I felt so comfortable when you came on, man. So thanks for joining me, man. I know you're so busy.
Great to be on again.
Got you. So, all right. So, Keith, I know this segment we want to do it a little different. We usually start with recaps and all that stuff, but, hey, it's the end of the year. So we got to figure out just how great we were this season. So Keith's going to help me do that. He has some notes. So we're going to touch on one of the first subjects. Keith, what you got for me?
So let's start with, first and foremost, the state track championships next Friday and Saturday, May 18th and 19th, Memorial Stadium.
Yes.
Action will start on Friday at 2:30 p.m. or 2 p.m. And then on Saturday, we'll start at 9:30 a.m.
Okay, what's admission for the general public?
It's $13 for adults, $9 for youth students and senior citizens.
Okay, all right. That's going to be a great event. Definitely, I want to say it's the first time in ages that we've hosted the state championship track meet. Have we ever hosted it?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so huge accomplishment. You know, our programs throughout did such a fantastic job. What better way than end the year than having state championships on our own field at the greatest junior college stadium in the world. And also, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. My stadium in junior college was better than my four-year stadium in Arkansas. Sorry, guys, but I'm just keeping it real. Just got to keep it real. So, hey, we got state track. You know, any of the athletes that you want to talk about? I know we have Marcus Watkins. He's doing the 100.
The nice thing is when you host the state championship, right, you want to have some of your people compete,
Absolutely.
Whether it's a team, individuals, whatever. And so, so far we've had a few kids qualify.
Okay.
So on the women's side, Sydney Roman is qualified for the 10K.
Wow.
Tori Wiley's qualified for the javelin and the heptathlon.
Amazing. Congratulations, guys.
And this week, Coach Kelly told me that the women's 4x400 has a chance to qualify in the regional finals this weekend.
Gotcha.
On the men's side, Mason Grants is qualified for shot put.
Mason Grants. Jeremy Stout will be proud of you, young man.
And then Coach Kelly, also told me that Jacob Whitby, Tyler Moulton, and Mason Grants all have a chance to qualify in the discus.
Gotcha.
So we're going to have some pretty decent representation at our own place
Absolutely.
Next weekend.
And it's interesting that you brought that up because I remember one of the years when I was a kid, I don't know if it was high school or before high school, where we had a potato bowl and we weren't in it. Like, it was two out-of-town teams, and we went, and I'm like, why are we here, man? This sucks, watching other people play in our stadium. So having our own guys competing at the highest level at the end of the year, amazing opportunity. It gives us as media professionals that much more courage and confidence to talk about how great we are like we do. So, what's next, Todd? I know we talked about the track meet. We got the Jim Ryan event coming up on May 17th as well.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more about Jim Ryan. So on the 17th, there's a meet and greet. And I don't have all that information in front of me right now, but you can get that on our website. And there's some ads out there. It's Thursday night. I believe it's at the DoubleTree.
Okay.
In the ballroom. And then on Saturday, we're going to honor Jim Ryan at the track meet itself as part of the opening ceremonies for his record-breaking performance.
Yes. So if you're not familiar with Jim Ryan, like we said, he's our former mile record holder. He's also a former congressman and somebody who we looked up to as former track guys in high school, just looking at these times when we would have track meets at Bakersfield College and like, how did this guy run this fast for this long? I was a 300 hurdle guy and I was dead tired at the end of my 3/4 of a lap. So I couldn't just imagine having that kind of output on a mile stage and at the biggest stage of all. Yeah. So great opportunity. So what else?
And he's
what
just
else
a little slower than you. I think his mile was 3:51. So,
if I'm not mistaken, my mile relay team, my junior year, probably ran a 3:51 with 4 guys. So that's amazing speed.
Yeah,
What's next, Keith? What else we got on the plate?
So we can just kind of recap the year.
Okay.
We'll go through all our different sports and kind of talk about the successes we had. And,
Gotcha.
And, there's some cool stories along the way. So, we had 16 out of our 20 teams qualify for the postseason.
Did you hear what my man Keith just said? 16 of 20?
Yeah, we're represented in the postseason.
Represented in the postseason. If you want to learn how to win before you transition to the next level, you got to come to the Palace on Panorama to get that done. That's amazing output.
And so we'll kind of stay with track and field right now.
Okay.
So we had 5 women qualify for SoCal regionals. Right. We already talked about state qualifiers. On the men's side, we had 10 qualify for SoCal regionals.
Amazing.
Jacob Whitby won the conference championship in discus. And we talked about those qualifiers. The other spring sports. Obviously, we talked about baseball and softball last year.
Absolutely.
Or last week. Unfortunately, baseball, lost to Riverside and their season ended.
Hats off to Coach Payton and the baseball team. Amazing effort, way to climb out of the doghouse and compete at the highest level to the end. Great job, guys.
And things we mentioned last week, we had 7 first-team all-conference players, 3 second-team, and Nathan Ortiz, pitcher of the year.
Pitcher of the year, Nathan Ortiz. He definitely went overshadowed by the output of Kylie Fahey. Kylie was on fire all year, and we'll talk about her in a sec, but I watched Nate pitch. I had the opportunity to call a few games, and just watching him compete to the end is an amazing thing. I didn't expect him to have that kind of year, and for him to do that and be pitcher of the year, salute to you, Mr. Nathan Ortiz.
And then we'll jump into softball. Obviously, conference champions, 9 named to the all-conference team. Kylie Fahey, we talked about pitcher of the year. Erica Chavez was all region. Kylie all state. She had no hitter. She had 7 consecutive shutouts.
Yes, I remember that streak.
And where does that take us? That takes us to Cypress this weekend for Super Regionals.
Oh,
so
I got goosebumps right there because our women's softball team playing at a high level all year. One of the most consistent programs on campus. Just having a great group of women. I won't call them girls, they're adults. Having a great group of women competing at the highest level on the field and also off the field. I talked about Kylie mentoring my son as he's going to, go ahead and take the plunge and join the Renegade next year instead of taking his scholarship to go play in a state in Iowa he's never been to. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to save a little money, too.
There you go. Anytime you can save some money.
Yes. I need it all. So what's next? We had softball, amazing year. Congratulations to Coach Goodman, Coach of the Year.
We'll talk about our other teams that are still in action. Beach volleyball. They won the conference pairs championship. They sent 2 pairs to the SoCal regionals. Sarah Armendariz and Alex Paris came out of the bracket last week, and so they're competing in the state championship this weekend down at West Valley or up at West Valley.
I thought they were finished after last week, and that just goes to show how we're continuing to fight.
So they're one of I think 16 pairs that are left.
Wow.
So they got a little bit of work to do, but they're in the running for a state championship. So.
Well, hats off to Coach Carl Ferreira and the rest of the team. I remember I had him on a show a couple weeks ago, and just the confidence that he exhibits. You can see it seeping through his skin. And I hadn't had an opportunity to watch our beach volleyball team play, but just listening to him and how the leadership that he displayed on camera, I just knew that he was going to get great results. So hats off to beach volleyball. Had no idea we had beach volleyball. It's one of our newest programs, but, it goes to show we don't take long to get results.
Yep. Oh, for sure. And then, to finish with beach volleyball, Brooke Horak and Jordan Morrow were co-MVPs of the league.
Wow.
Sarah and Alex were first-team all-conference, and Reese Stevenson and Haley Sanchez were second-team all-conference.
Beautiful.
So, you're talking about a sport that's in our third year.
Wow. They already have 2 MVPs.
So,
that's going to be great for the recruiting platform, don't you think?
Yeah. No, outstanding.
Yes.
And just, the way beach volleyball is going now, it's growing so much. And, when the 4-year schools kind of started it out here on the West Coast, when they first started, their indoor kids were playing beach.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of, the philosophy was kind of get them playing all year so they're in shape when indoor comes around.
Absolutely.
Well, now what most of the schools have done is have separate them. Now they're separate teams.
Oh,
so you either play beach or indoor.
How do you think that'll work? You think that'll kill some of the spirit for some of the teams?
No, I think beach is such a different game.
Okay.
Right? It's a little different skill. You can certainly play both, but it's a little different, especially out here or the southeast United States, where you can be on the beach all year and you can play.
Absolutely. And whether people know it or not, beach volleyball is one of my favorite sports to watch during the Olympics. I love watching beach volleyball. I grew up watching Karch Karai and these other people perform at a high level and couldn't wait to watch it. And we would go out and play. Some of our favorite off-season activities for football was going and playing beach volleyball because the sand workout was such an intense feeling. Definitely one of the things that I'm glad that we have. So, maybe we can work on getting a nice sand court on campus.
Well, that's in the plans, Kenny.
All right,
when we start
to make sand angels.
The Measure J, when the Measure J projects come through, that's in the plan. So
yes. Yes. What's next?
So we'll continue with the spring sports. So men's tennis, they had three named all-conference teams. Ivan Rivera in singles, Alex Fleikerman and Conrad Dalton in doubles. And then 2 doubles teams qualify for the SoCal Regionals, Mario and Manrico Coboloza, and Alex Fleikerman and Conrad Dalton.
I had Alec on the show a few weeks ago, him and Coach. Definitely great character. He actually came to the show and gave me 20 minutes when he had to go get on the road to play. So it just goes to show the dedication that he has, but also how he's willing to give himself up. Because me as a player, if you come and ask me to do something before I'm about to play the most important match of my career, I'm probably going to tell you no. I need to focus. But he came in. He was a great sport, and I appreciate that. Definitely great character, and I'm glad he had a great year. Congratulations, Alec.
So on the women's side, Kayleen Sanchez and Serena Contreras on the singles, and Kayleen and Serena in doubles, and Kenzie Williamson and Brandy Borjan in doubles, all qualify for the SoCal Regionals.
Nice.
And then, I'm going to get out of sport specific for a second and just talk about Brandy Borjan.
Yes, amazing woman.
So Brandy was a golfer. Right, she golfed for us for 2 years, and women's tennis needed a tennis player. She's never played tennis before.
Wow.
So she ended up saying, all right, I'll play tennis. So she played tennis at a pretty decent level and makes it to the SoCal Regionals.
Wow.
As a tennis player.
And let me tell you a funny story. there was a typo on one of my reports earlier in the year. So I was calling her Brandy Bjorn for like 7 weeks. And then I finally got her on as a guest. And she was like, what'd you say? I was like, it's Bjorn, right? She was like, no, it's Bourgeon. I felt like an idiot. But, just hearing you elaborate on how she never played tennis. She was a golf kid, grew up to be able to compete at the highest level and make it to the postseason. It just goes to show the work ethic that's encompassed in all of our athletes. Because many of us played other sports. I'm known as this football guy, but I was an 8-sport guy, growing up, and sometimes it's just up to you to go ahead and pick what you want to be great at. And it sounds like she did that. So congratulations, Brandon.
And she's actually going to CSUB next year and play golf. So.
Yes.
So.
Yes, we did talk about that. I'm extremely proud of you guys. Great job, Brandy Bourgeon, not Bjorn, Bourgeon.
And so then we go to men's golf. We had 2 individuals qualify for SoCal Regionals, Tyson Hayes and Matt Sikowski.
Yes.
They both fell a little bit short to make it to the States, but they're very competitive. So, hats off to them.
Yes, Coach Coble was a great guest. Actually had him as a double up. And just as we talk about multiple sport guys, Coach Coble wasn't a golf guy in high school. He played football and track and all these other sports, but it's like I said, it's a testament of how we figure out a way to be great. If something's not working for us, we go ahead and pick something else to be great at. And I'm extremely proud of Coach Coble and just seeing his spirit, and knowing what he's attached to off the field or off the course in the community. And doing some of the great things he does is just an inspiration. So congratulations to my man, Wes Coble. Just added him on Facebook last week. Going to tag you in all those photos from the year. But, definitely a true accomplishment.
So now we'll move to really not a fall or spring sport, men's and women's basketball. So women's basketball had they had 3 named to the all-conference team. Mm-hmm. They played all year with injuries, but they battled, and kept coming and playing hard every day. So that's a testament to those kids and to the Coach Dahl. Men's basketball, they had 4 named to the all-conference team. Jalen English was Player of the Year.
Little Cuddy.
Tucker Enningenberg was selected to the first team for the second time.
I made up a new nickname for him. He's Mr. 51 around these parts.
And so, he was a state player of the month in January, and part of that was, his 51-point performance against Canyons. And 17 for 17 from the free throw line that night. 67% from behind the arc.
Keith, all that spectacular.
Whatever was in his water, Kenny.
Yes,
need to get some.
We need to bottle it and put a BC logo on it. Yeah. But hey, let's elaborate on that, because you talked about the offensive numbers of Mr. 51, Tucker Enningenberg, and I remember that was one of the first games you guys allowed me to broadcast. The thing that I loved most about Mr. Enningenberg was, yes, he shot lights out from free throw line. Yes, he shot lights out from 3. But he won the game by getting a block shot in the rebound of the block shot at the end of the game. And it goes to show that he's not a guy that has to force his offense. He's not a selfish guy. He's a team guy. Also, Coach Hughes. How big was it for Coach Hughes to manage that roster with all the shakeups that he had, losing his leading scorer, and the guy, I'm not even going to say his name, he's gone, and having Jalen English step in, who was the second or third leading scorer prior to that, ends up being the Player of the Year, and then Mr. Enningenberg setting the BC all-time record high with 51 points. So, true testament of Coach Hughes and the coaching staff, but also the resiliency of our team as a whole and the next man up philosophy. So hats off to the basketball team.
For sure, Kenny, for sure.
Yes.
So now we'll head into, I guess we'll go into the fall sports. Or actually, you know what, swimming. Let's go to swimming, because I missed them in the spring sports. Now, swimming is a different animal. There's so many events, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm a former swimmer.
And so we had 14 female swimmers make all conference, 14 male swimmers make all conference.
A few record breakers.
I have 3 sheets here that with all the all the things they qualified in, but
Yes.
Nicolette Rimmer, for instance, right? She was first team in 3 individual events,
Wow.
first team in a relay, second team in 2 relays, and honorable mention in 2 other relays.
And she broke that record.
So she was 8 events. She was all conference in.
Amazing.
Just-
Congratulations, Nicolette.
Just unbelievable, right?
Yes.
And so, like I said, we had 14 of each. Just
Really, so many. It's too many to name. Too many accomplishments.
You look at the sheet, right, and they're all multiple.
Yes. And
They're multiple nominees, right?
yes. And I remember us having the show out there that day. I went back later that evening and watched some of the matches, and just watching them compete at home in front of a great crowd and coming out with some records was, it was just beautiful to me and made me feel like I should have swam, because I was a swimmer as a youth guy. But once I got older, swimming wasn't as cool, and the girls didn't come watch you swim, so I stopped swimming. But just thinking about all the accomplishments that we had in that pool, and we'll put some of those names up in the recap later in our last segment. But hats off to the swim team. I'm a former breaststroke record holder, and just seeing the girls, Nicolette and some of the other guests that I had that day, talk about, well, I want to break this record tonight and go out and do it. That just goes to show, you can will yourself into these positions of greatness. And so it's just amazing accomplishments, and I'm so proud to be able to talk about it on the air. So great job, women swimming.
Yep. Yeah. So now we'll get back into the fall sports wrestling. All right, they were conference champs, 6 individual conference champions,
Amazing.
3 Southern regional champions, Pedro Corona at 133, Emmett Coons at 149, Jeremy Moss at 184, 1 state champion, Adrian Godinez, and 2 All-Americans, Adrian Godinez and Pedro Corona.
Wow, huge shout out to my center, Mr. Brett Clark. He works tirelessly to get guys, to maximize their potential, and my son's a wrestler, so he'll be putting on that little onesie coming up in about 7 months, man. I'm excited to see it. We got to put about 20 pounds on him, though.
I think they stopped calling them onesie, Kenny, when you're about 3. I think they call them singlets when you.
Okay, all right. So don't tackle me and try to pin me, guys, because I called it a onesie. It's a singlet.
Those wrestling guys are going to take offense.
Oh man, they're gonna try to get me. I used to wrestle too for a little bit. Rest in peace, Coach Craig. But it's a singlet, not a onesie.
So volleyball, co-champs. So 2 years in a row, they were champions.
Wow.
Brooke Horak was all Southern region. Again, at our level, you're playing both indoor and outdoor. So
Yes.
these girls have been playing volleyball since August.
Yes, and I talked to Coach Carl about how it felt for us as football guys. We would get to school 3 weeks before anybody. The only people on campus would be us in the volleyball team. So I always respected the work ethic of the volleyball program and just how much work they put in before anybody even steps on campus. So, hats off to the ladies, co-champs, Coach Carl Ferreira. I can't say enough about the guy. And just, I want to do as much as I can to expand branding and help put seats or butts in the seats to watch this output, because like Keith said, we had 16 of our 20 sports qualify for postseason play. I want you to go and do some research and see how many other organizations. You can go ahead and look D1 and all that too. How many of these other organizations have 16 of 20 postseason players or postseason teams? I want to know. All right, so what we got?
Okay, so football, we started off pretty hot, and then
man,
we hit the end of the schedule with some of the top teams in the state, and didn't end the way we wanted it. But we played in the Patriotic Bowl. We had 8 kids named all conference, 6 named all region, and
1 All-American.
Jaquel Tomlin All-American.
Yes, and I'm gonna touch on that for a second, because it gets emotional. I'm the football guy. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the pigskin. You guys brought me in a couple years ago, halfway through the year, to help, expand branding and be a voice. But just watching us compete against teams who were so-called 10 times better than us, we were in every game this season. We played at a high level through the first half of the year. Great DB play. And now I'm going to get personal because I am a DB coach and former DB. Towards the end of the year, some of our defensive backs didn't get to play at their highest level. They played some of their best football early. They didn't finish well. I remember watching in Ventura, those 50-50 balls that we had where they're just throwing balls up in the air. And, we're basically right where we want to be if we knock this ball down, and we're giving up 50-50 balls 3 weeks in a row. And for me being a defensive back coach, I almost took off my headset and went and grabbed my whistle again so I could start chewing some tail, Chudy style, because it's just unacceptable. But more than anything, it gives us something to look forward to throughout the spring, throughout the summer workouts, which I've talked to Coach, and I've seen him out there working, because we're so used to being great here. And I joke about it. I call the stadium the house Kenny built and all that kind of stuff, but we take it personal. I got my teammate Larry Parker, the USC Trojan, out there waiting for the next segment, and he can tell you how a lot of those LA guys just assume that they're better than us and everything.
Oh yeah.
So it's up to us to remind them that, hey, we might not have the stars and the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but one thing we do down here is compete. So when we stop competing how we're used to competing, it's going to get under my skin. So I'm looking forward to some greater DB play next year. And I'm also going to be out there some of these summer workouts to make sure feet are correct and people are playing balls at the highest point. So, but congratulations to Coach Dean, Coach Chudy, and the rest of the staff, because I watched Coach Carl Dean call some phenomenal games. He opened up the playbook. Some of our double reverse passes, was phenomenal. But before I end, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to my little cousin, Roberson. I'm going to call that dude the Rocket Roberson, because anytime he touched the ball, he was out of there. He had a couple of, 100-yard returns, took some screens, 90 yards. Amazing play. But last but not least, my man, Jaquel Tomlin. And I'm going to hold back the tears on this one, because Jaquel, driller boy, of course, didn't have a great year from a receiver standpoint. He didn't get the attention from the quarterbacks because we had some inconsistent quarterback play, being that we played a couple. But he continued to show up with his lunch pail. Mm-hmm. He took advantage of his opportunities, returned some punts to the house in some of our biggest games, and brought us back and gave us opportunities to win games that we end up, some we won, some we lost. But seeing his attitude and character all season and not giving up was so commendable. But last but not least, man, he lost his father through a senseless act of violence recently. Mm-hmm. And I talked to him the day after it happened because I knew his dad. And I just wanted to remind him what I had to remind myself of when I had losses as a kid. We take this pain and turn it into passion, and this is what's going to make you great. Mm-hmm. So within 3 weeks of us having that conversation, he gets the call that he's named to the All-American team. Yep. And I cried like a baby in my bed when I opened that up and saw that. So hats off to BC Renegade football, all of our sports, of course. But Jaquel, the driller boy Tomlin, congratulations on being our one BC Renegade football All-American. So now, what we got, Todd? Or Keith, sorry about that.
All right, so we'll go men's soccer. They had 5 named to the all-conference team, 2 to the all-region team, and Jesus Barajas was named to the all-state team.
Okay.
On the women's side, they had 9 named to the all-conference team. Odalis Espinoza was named to the all-region and all-state team. She had 10 goals and 5 assists for 25 points on the year. So she was really the main cog for the.
Yeah, that's insane. 25 goals in the season?
10 goals, but 25 points.
Oh, 10 goals and 25 points. Wow.
But 10 goals is not a bad
that's phenomenal.
Clip. Not a bad clip.
That's phenomenal.
In soccer, because, there are not a lot of goals scored in soccer.
Yeah, not a lot of goals. Hats off to Coach Martinez and BC Soccer. It's just definitely a testament of all our great effort and leadership. So, Keith, I appreciate you. is that the tail end of our
We just got a couple more.
fall?
Are you kicking me? Are you
What we
Are
got?
you getting ready to kick me out?
No, I'm ready. We
all
rocking
right.
and rolling,
All right.
man.
All right. So women's golf, we had 3 golfers in SoCal regionals: Brandy Borjan, Allie Crawley, and Sydney Crawley.
Amazing.
We already talked about Brandy. Men's cross country had 5 named all conference.
How can I forget about cross country?
Women's cross country had 2 named all conference team. And I think that's a wrap on the individual
Gotcha.
sports. But just want to talk about a couple other things before you get rid of me.
No, I got you, man. We chilling, man. You can stay. You can stay in for the next segment. With
so-
me and my boy LP.
So just a number of postseason events we hosted this year, right? We hosted 4 regionals, 2 conference championships, and we're hosting state championship, right? So
Wow.
wrestling had hosted the conference and the SoCal regionals. Golf just hosted SoCal regionals last week. Baseball and softball hosted regionals.
Beautiful.
Swimming hosted the conference championships, and then now next weekend state championships.
Wow, that's amazing.
And again, going back to, you're talking about other schools and what they're doing. I'm not sure that any other schools hosting that many events.
And speaking of the events, one thing about Keith is that when I have questions about events, Coach Taylor's extremely busy. Keith is very hands-on. So even flashing back to football season, of course, just getting us on track and making sure everybody gets paid, from basketball season to assisting the community with allowing kids and programs like I work for to bring their clients in to take part in those activities. The little the truck race car events that we have at halftime of basketball, some of the stuff that we do in halftime of football. All of that stuff doesn't happen without great leadership behind closed doors. A lot of the fans show up and they just care about the person with the shirt on that has a number on it. And it's up to us as professionals to remind people that none of that happens without great leadership behind closed doors. So, Keith, hats off to you, man. You've been nothing but, great to me, great leadership and teaching me how to be a professional from the media standpoint and just showing me how things work. It's a lot of, I was a coach for 5 to 6 years on campus.
Yeah.
I didn't know half of the stuff that I know now, just being able to sit in the office with you guys and and allowing me. This week I had one of my clients in the office, and you guys welcoming him in and showing him the potential that he has and what he can be attached to, and just allowing me to do that, man, is just heartwarming, and I appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate you, give me a shout out. And, at the end of the day, we're here for one thing, right? We're here to make our student athletes experience better, right?
Absolutely.
And get them to the next level.
Absolutely.
So, we do what we need to do to do that.
Absolutely.
And so that's an interesting segue now, Kenny, because I was getting ready to talk about some new things that we added in the department this year.
Okay.
Right? So we added a SAC program, Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
Nice.
Basically, right, they're the liaison between the student athletes and administration.
Okay.
And we had a student athlete picnic this year. First time since I've been here. I don't know if they've ever done them in the past.
We never
right?
did them.
We kind of, I've been at D1 places, and every at the end of the year you have a big banquet, and right, kids don't want to sit in there for 2 hours and listen to speakers and go over all that kind of thing. And frankly, a lot of your administration doesn't want to be in there either.
Yeah.
Right.
I understand.
So we kind of talked and thought it'd be cool to have just a laid back picnic. We had games out there. We had washers and cornhole and
Nice.
some frisbee games
You
and
guys
stuff.
have like vendors from the
Yeah.
community come out, or did we do food on campus?
No, we bought the food, and the coaches and staff actually cooked and served for the athletes, right? Just to show them our appreciation for everything they do for the school. And then we did some awards. Again, not been done since I've been here, and just I think we need to do we need to show our students more appreciation.
Absolutely.
For everything they do and recognize them.
Absolutely, because we have this huge campus. It's beautiful. I've traveled the country as an athlete and a coach and a performer. Sometimes as musicians we get to perform on some of these campuses. our campus has everything we need to compete and be successful with any organization in the country. And it's up to us as a program to continue to get back out there. And since I've been back, I've seen us going above and beyond doing that. So it's just, it's continued testament about the effort that we're putting in, and also the effort that the county and the state is putting into Bakersfield College with Measure J passing and us getting a huge grant to be able to put a lot of these things into place. Shoot, some of that money may have been the reason why I'm able to be here and have this opportunity to talk to you guys. So it's just amazing opportunities that continue to happen, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So, let's keep it coming.
So just to kind of, we kept the awards, being the first year, we didn't want to get crazy with awards because we knew kids, don't want to stay around long, like they finished eating and they were trying to jet, we had to keep them there after 45 minutes. I mean, they ate, they're kids, man. They're going to,
they're ready to go as soon as they get that plate.
So we decided that we were just going to keep the awards kind of to a minimum this year. And as we grow this, we want to do this picnic annually.
Gotcha.
And grow the numbers, and add some more awards. The
Nice.
turnout was pretty good for the first year. We had almost 120 student athletes show up. So we were pretty happy with that. But we gave 3 awards out. We gave them Athlete of the Year, male, female.
Wow. Who got that?
So for that, the male athlete of the year was Adrian Godinez.
Wow.
And
nice.
the female athlete of the year was Kylie Fahey.
Oh, of course.
I got with Zach Peters and asked him if we want to do a weight room warrior award.
Okay.
Right, which is someone who goes to weight room.
Yes.
Is always prepared, always works hard. Doesn't have to be the greatest athlete. Doesn't have to be a starter on the field.
Yes.
But, on the back end, right, they do what they have to do to be ready to play at all times, right?
Nice.
So the male athlete, or the male weight room warrior was Lenny Richards from football, and female weight room warrior was Sarah Armendaris from
Amazing.
beach volleyball.
Nice.
And then Stieg Jantz, our academic advisor, want to do a grit award. He spends a ton of time. He spends more time with these athletes probably than some of their coaches do.
Oh, yeah. I see him nonstop all the time.
Because these kids, he gets them set up in their classes, and then they come down there, and they're always down there talking to them. And any question they have, that's the guy they go to usually right away.
Yes.
So he wanted to come up with a grit award, right, which is basically an award for someone who, they come ready and work on the field, in the classroom, no matter what adversity they face.
Nice.
Never complain. They just come and take care of business.
Oh, I see the players of all sports camped out in front of his office every day.
Yeah, so we did, for the male grit award was Ben Carlson from cross country and track.
Okay.
And then for the female grit award was Alexia Rodier from women's soccer. So those were the technically 6 awards, 3 categories we did this year.
Nice.
Down the road we're going to, the SAC is going to be really big into pushing our team to do community service, and we're going to do a kind of like a contest and run it through the whole year.
Nice.
And do like a community service award, team award.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, hey, Keith, when it comes to the next year's planning, as far as entertainment, let me know how I can help. Maybe we can get some of our Hollywood associates to come down here and donate some of their time to inspire the youth on the entertainment platform as well.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely love to combine everything that I do off the field as well, because a lot of the musicians that I work with currently in Hollywood now do a lot of amazing community service efforts, and it's something that they would love to do because they know what I do for a living and they love to support me. So,
that'd be awesome, Kenny.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that going and set that up, and hopefully throughout this summer we can start planning and putting some things on the calendar.
For sure. I mean, football's 3.5 months away, man.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'm ready for the Dammering Deck.
People always say, so what do you do all summer? Yeah, there ain't no
Playing.
break. They say, do you work on the summer? Yeah, as soon as the state track meet's over, we'll be football.
All right. Well, hey.
Football full go, man.
That's it. Well, Keith, man, I appreciate you, man. It's been a great experience, and it's been a great year. Definitely a lot of information that the world needed to know about. It's going to help with recruiting. we're definitely doing a great job bringing bodies in. We got a few guys coming back from Fresno State who thought they were going to go be Bulldogs that are coming back to be part of our football program next season. So I'm excited. We got an amazing schedule. But this has been Kenny Calvin and Assistant Athletic Director, Mr. Keith Ford. We'll be right back after this break with my teammate and co-captain, former USC Chief or USC Trojan and Kansas City Chief, Larry Parker, right after this break.
On May 18th and 19th, history will be made at Memorial Stadium on the campus of Bakersfield College. Just like Jim Ryan did at BC on June 23rd, 1967. Come out and see California Community College's premier track and field athletes.
We could have took a break. Someone over there telling him to take a break.
Will be pushing themselves to the limits. I was like, a state champion. Don't miss a moment of this history-making event. Get your tickets now by logging in to ValleyTix.com or by calling 661-322-5200.
Keith, you want to sit in? Or you heading out? You got work to do?
On May 18th and 19th, history will be made at Memorial Stadium on the campus of Bakersfield College. Just like Jim Ryan did at BC on
we'll do the three recap.
Come out and see
baseball,
California
softball,
Community College's premier track and field athletes compete for the state's highest honor. These student athletes will be pushing themselves to the limits to lead Bakersfield as a state
we'll close with that.
Don't miss a moment of this history-making event. Get your tickets now by logging in to ValleyTix.com or by calling 661-322-5200.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for not just selling me tires.
Thanks for running out to my car to greet me.
We
Running.
Thanks for checking my brakes for free.
For free.
And being just hassle-free. For talking to me like an intelligent human being.
You don't see that too often.
Thanks for hustling to get me out of there.
Without making me feel hustled.
So thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing the right thing by not just selling tires.
All right, well, thanks for telling me.
Les Schwab
I
Tires.
appreciate it.
Doing the right thing matters.
Appreciate you, sir.
Freeway Chevrolet. Amazing savings,
I
exceptional
saw was
service,
AD.
and a selection of over 700 Chevy
Thank you.
Camaros,
Appreciate you, man.
Silverados, Tahoes, Malibus, and Cruises, or the racetrack-proven performance of Corvette and Camaro. Chevy vehicles continue to earn top marks year after year. And after
selfie,
one
bro.
visit to Three-Way Chevrolet, you'll see why.
We're here to help Three-Way Chevrolet.
Selection, savings, and service at Three-Way Chevrolet, your hometown dealership.
For nearly 80 years, Current Schools Federal Credit Union has been helping generations of local people achieve local dreams. What started as a tiny office in the basement of Bakersfield High School, where receipts were kept in a shoebox, has grown to become the largest financial institution headquartered in Kern County. And local matters. Through the years, we've been witness to families and friends passing their Current Schools tradition down from one generation to the next. And we always have room for more. So be sure to start your Current Schools family tradition today. Current Schools, together we have something special.
W.A. Thompson Distributing proudly supports Bakersfield College athletics. W.A. Thompson has been delivering quality beverage products to Kern County businesses for over 60 years. With great beer comes great responsibility. Please enjoy our products responsibly and always remember, 21 means 21. W.A. Thompson Distributing salutes BC football. Thanks for following the Renegades on the radio, and go Gates!
Fall is just around the corner, and just like the leaves, prices at Carpet Outlet Plus are falling to the lowest price ever. Come in today to see all new waterproof flooring. Choose from products in stock and get installed immediately. From the store ranked Bakersfield's best 12 times. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway, or carpetoutletplus.com.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
If you call Kern County home, then you can bank with Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. It's that simple. From savings and checking accounts to home and auto loans to the latest in online and mobile technology, Kern Schools is here to be your lifelong financial partner. And whether you like traditional banking or prefer to handle your finances online, we can meet all your needs. To open your Kern Schools account today, simply visit a branch or go online. With online account opening, you won't even have to come visit us. Just one more way Kern Schools is here to make your life easier so your dreams and goals become reality. Kern Schools, together we have something special.